up, guys? 2022 Kramer Pacer Classic in Passional Purple. I almost said pink. Nope, it's purple. It is kind of, oh, well, it's purple. Anyway, so I'm doing this series, as some of you may know if you're following me. And I'm cutting as many videos as I can in one day. That's why the shirt's still here. Look, I wanted to do like the things I don't like about my gear, right? So I figured this would make some good videos for you guys. So anyway, what do I don't like about this guitar? Well, there's not a whole lot that I don't like. But one thing I don't like about it is the fine tuners. Although they are definitely fine tuners and a whole new meaning of it, they do have very fine threads too, which is great for the sensitivity range. Okay, they should be about 3/16 of an inch longer in thread to give us more travel. Okay, because otherwise that creates an issue where if you had a proper Floyd with longer screws already, then you wouldn't have to undo your locking nut and redial stuff in quite so much. I mean, I've only had to redial in this thing, I think, 3 times since I got it in April, and that's been about it. The last time I had to redial in was because I decided to do a pullback because it's a full floater, and I kind of popped my E-string, so that was kind of my bad on that one. But otherwise, yeah, I probably wouldn't have had to do it because, you know, the thing does stay in tune really super well for a Floyd. I mean, I can't believe how well Floyds actually really do stay in tune, especially once you got them set up right. But they're not infallible, okay? They can fall out of tune. Your guitar moves and shifts with humidity, right? And I live in Canada, and our humidity absolutely has been really wild up and down the scale this summer, and it's more been up than down. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Like in here right now, we're at 50%. And it's risen about 10% since I got home from church because I went and I opened up the door. It's hot as heck outside. It's very humid outside. I turned off the humidifier, well, dehumidifier. So I've gone up a few percents. But I'm still okay until that thing says 60%. Once it hits 60, I better turn it back on, because if it goes much higher than that, my Taylor goes soupy, my Gibson does the funky chicken, you know, and it's like, there's something to be said about expensive guitars, guys. The more money you spend, the more sensitive the bloody things are to humidity. It's just mental. But anyways, anyhow, this thing here, that's probably one of the biggest things I have against this is the fact that it does need more thread room. 3/16 of an inch is a lot of turns, and it would be very helpful. So maybe Kramer, for anybody from Kramer, may come across this video. Please fix that, and also see if you can throw some up on the website for purchase or put them through Amazon. I don't care, but I want a new set that's just 3/16 of an inch longer, and I think I'd be happier than all get out. Now, as far as the tuners go, they're not bad. They're pretty decent, and we don't really care too much about the tuners on this so much because they're locked up here with the locking nut, right? It's a Floyd. If this was not a locking nut, then I'd be concerned about the tuners, because the tuners are not expensive tuners on this thing. This guitar only sells for $500 in Canada, or about $400 in the States. So they're not going to put high-end tuners on this thing. It looks like a high-end guitar, but it's not exactly a high-end guitar, okay? Still being a Kramer, it's a pretty good guitar though. I mean, for the money, you can't go wrong. And definitely playing live with this is a definite yes you can, and even I will. Okay, I have plans. The other thing that might probably annoy me a little bit about this guitar, but I have to also think too, it is an 80s recreation, and back in the 80s, this was our frets. They're very thin, they're not very tall, right? They're narrow, they're short kind of frets. So if you're a hard player, you're going to wear them out faster than I would. I'll probably, because of how often I play this guitar, I'll probably get about 8 or 9 years out of these frets, and the question of redress is not going to be even on the books because they're that shallow, right? So these are not a fret height that you would want to redress. You just rip them all off and put on all new frets, in which case when I do that, I think I'm going to go for just a smidgen taller fret, which I already have sitting in my drawer, instead of a whole brand new bag of frets that would actually do the job for that. and at that point I'd refret. Now, as far as our frets go, we got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We have 22 frets total. Would have been kind of cool to have 24, but 22 is more than sufficient. I think we're okay there. It is a really nice shred machine, though. The finishes, you'd almost swear there's no finish on the neck, but I've actually carefully inspected the wood, and there actually is a superbly light coating of a satin finish on the neck. Like, we're talking really thin coating, but it's protecting the wood. That's all that matters, so you don't have to worry about it, even though it's maple on maple. So I love the paint on the headstock. That kind of goes with stuff. I can't complain about the pickups. Now, the little mini toggle switch here, it doesn't bother me. And even Dagan from PMTV UK, great YouTube channel, by the way, I have actually bought stuff based on what he said, okay? And I've also not bought stuff too, so it kind of works as an equal. But he is really awesome, great player too. But he's done demos on these things, and he's even said, this switch is not a problem. He's had guitars, for years. He loves Kramer, and he's never had a problem with these switches. So I think we should be okay. Time always tells the story and how much you use them, right? So, but otherwise, I think it's a really good guitar. The pickups are great, though. Like, even on clean, they are clean, right? So, but I just got to get that bass side a little bit lower on the neck, I think, and I'll be okay with that. Now, one question would be, how would this thing react to an acoustic simulator? Now, this is not something I want to cover in any of the other guitars, but in this one I think I do. So, I've got an acoustic simulator turned on my board here. Dial that in a little bit, knock some of the treble off, but you don't usually use the bridge anyway, so this is both. Neck pickup where it should be. I think once we bleed off some of that treble, get it calmed down a little, I think these pickups would work fantastic with an acoustic sim. That's just my opinion, though. So, anyways, but yeah, not much to pick on. Like I said, these could be a bit longer. Adjusting the pickup height is kind of a user preference thing, what you're after for sound on them. Color choicing was good. I think, though, if I was to mod this thing, I'd get rid of all the chrome, every bit of it, and I'd go with all black, including the pickup rings. I'd go black. So that, or I would go gold. I think gold or black would look fantastic for hardware. The silver actually looks really good too, the chrome against the purple. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, should I or shouldn't I? I mean, I'm not doing anything for the value of the guitar. It's more of a personal choice, right? But I would not trade in this color for anything. I think the color is just awesome. I did get a chance to finally see the blue one out of a box, and I was kind of half tempted. It's like, do I buy a Mexican Strat or do I get that sucker in blue? But then it's the exact same guitar, just a different color. So it's like, knock some sense in your head, Kevin. You need to Strat more. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Locking keys for the back, where the keys are locked. That could be a little bit more improved, I think, would be nice. But otherwise, they do function. Okay, they're just very finicky. But at least you've got a place for your tools, and it's I think the only thing you'd probably need extra would be maybe a neck tool, like an Allen key for the neck. But otherwise, you're only going to be worrying about your saddles and changing strings, and of course your lock, and the Allen key that comes with it works fine for the lock fronts and backs. and of course your fine tuner for, you know, if you're going to mess around with your intonation at all. But even to mess with your intonation, yeah, you're going to have to probably take your strings off or loosen them off really good and then mess with it. But the intonation on this thing is bang on, so it's not something I would play with anyway. So, not much to really knock this thing on, surprisingly enough. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and even if you have one of these 2022 versions, let us know in the comments below what you think about it, how you feel about it, what you like, what you don't like, kind of thing. These aren't review videos. These are just things I don't like about my own gear, you know. I thought it would be a good series. So anyways, let me know how you're enjoying this series too, because I think what I'm going to do is have a playlist as well for you guys too. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for quite a few more videos to go yet. I do have a lot of guitars and gear, so there you go. See ya.